Hello and welcome to Staffworks Explained. In this video, we'll be talking about Somali Republic admission to EAC, which is getting closer than before. The Somali government on 2nd June 2023 issued a statement announcing that 7 presidents of East African Community had signed off the verification report that paves way for its admission into the bloc. A verification team comprising of experts from EAC partner states were in Somalia from January 25th to February 3rd, 2023 to establish the country's levels of conformity with the criteria for admission into EAC. The technical team reviewed Somalia's institutional and legal frameworks, policies, strategies, and programs, and its area of cooperation with EAC. It also assessed Somalia's development strategy and plans in key areas of collaboration, which include infrastructure, energy, education, science, peace and security, and international cooperation. The report was tabled during the 21st Extraordinary Head of State Summit, which was held in Burundi on 31st of May 2023, and this meeting was chaired by the President of Burundi, who is the current chair of EAC. During that meeting, it was resolved that a report need to be tabled during the next ordinary meeting, which will be held later this year, and this is where the final verdict will be issued on Somali Republic admission into EAC. The EAC head of state deliberated and adopted the report and directed the EAC Secretariat and Council to start negotiations with Somalia. This was to be done immediately, and the report should be ready by the next ordinary summit. With the adoption of the report by the verification mission to Somalia, the Council of Ministers is now expected to commence and conclude negotiations with Somalia for admission into the bloc. The Federal Republic of Somalia, in a statement, said that it warmly welcomes the adoption of the verification report on its application to EAC, where the head of state reviewed and deliberated during the 21st Extraordinary Summit held in Bujumbura on May 31st. The adoption report, the statement continues, is a noteworthy milestone and testament that Somalia will be a great addition to EAC and contributes to the integration and prosperity of the region. Should Somalia be admitted into the EAC, it will be the 8th member of the trade bloc. It has a population of 17 million people and hopes that its admission to the bloc will help other countries exploit its blue economy while also enhancing the movement of goods and services and people in the region. Democratic Republic of Congo is the EAC newest member of the region, which also have other countries such as Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, and South Sudan. Some countries like Tanzania and Burundi have been opposed to the admission of Somalia. Although there has been sporadic attacks by the terrorist outfit of Al-Shabaab, Somalia has largely been peaceful thanks to part of a peacekeeping mission that is in the country led by EAC member states and African Union mission in Somalia. Somalia shares a border with Kenya to the east, and this is one of the requirements that a country should fulfill for it to be admitted into EAC. The country should be sharing a borderline with at least one member state. This is one of the rules that Sudan had applied to be a member of this bloc, but it was denied entry due to the fact that when it applied, it was not sharing a border with any of the member states. But for a country to be admitted into the EAC, it must also have a strong democratic institutions. President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed, who won the presidential poll in May last year, had attempted to join EAC in his first time in between 2012 and 2017, but this entry was denied because Somalia did not qualify in so many areas. The board bloc initially refused this application, and one of the reasons that was cited is sporadic conflict and weak institutions in Somalia. But Mogadishu hopes that to be admitted into EAC, and this has been rekindled when South Sudan was admitted in 2016, and South Sudan has its fair share of conflict and other problems. Some experts argue that Somalia's application should be rejected as the country has all the markings of a failed state, where we have sporadic attacks by the militant groups such as Al-Shabaab. The Somali government, on its part, insists that it has been working on making the country safe. There has been increased influence from the Somalian community in Kenya and the other EAC member states. Somali Republic president has been quoted in the past saying that Somalia belongs to the East Africa community and there is no country among the EAC partner states that is not linked by business with Somalia, and the existing historical linkages include language and culture. So the country is at home in EAC and its admission should be fast-tracked. If we are to use the admission of DRC as a reference point and see where Somalia is in its journey to joining EAC, on December 22nd, 2021, the 19th Extraordinary Summit of the EAC Heads of States received and considered the report of verification mission to DRC and directed the Council of Ministers to hasten and start the negotiation process with DRC for its admission to the bloc. The negotiations between the EAC and DRC were successfully conducted from 15th to 24th January 2022 in Nairobi, Kenya, with Kinshasa reaffirming willingness to be part of the bloc. Following the negotiations, the EAC Council of Ministers recommended to the summit to consider admitting DRC into the community in accordance with Article 3.3 of the treaty. On March 29th, 2022, the summit of EAC Head of States at their 19th extraordinary meeting admitted DRC into EAC following the recommendation of the EAC Council of Ministers. The chairperson of the summit and the President of Kenya then, Uhuru Kenyatta, informed the meeting that DRC had met all the criteria for admission as provided in the treaty. With this timeline, the steps from negotiation for admission into the bloc to the actual entry lasted 3 months. If the same applies to Somali Republic, we may see the country entering EAC this year, earliest September 2023. So thank you for watching this video. We'll be following up to see how this process goes on and whether we'll be welcoming Somali Republic into EAC. So thank you for watching this video. If it's your first time here, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. For those who have been regular viewers, we thank you for the support that you have given us during this period. So thank you and welcome for more videos.